Hey folks, this is Ryan Gurnett from SideQuest During the Apocalypse, and this week we have a Steam sale video for you. It is the summer's big Steam sale, and there's a bunch of cool stuff. And full disclosure, some of these clips were taken from the console versions of the game, so you might see a few things. First off, we have the Halo Master Chief Collection, 50% off. Usually $40, marked down to $20. Whether you want to dive into one of the 6 campaigns, connect with your friends on multiplayer, or relax in Forge mode, the Master Chief Collection absolutely delivers. Both of the original Halo games have been remastered, and if you've never played the series before, this is the perfect way to start. The PC reinvigorates the old gunplay of the original Xbox, and the multiplayer servers are decently populated due to the game's cross-play compatibility. If you have the storage for this game, give it a try, and it's an absolute steal for $20. Next up, we have Kingdoms of Amalur ReReckoning. When this game first came out on the PS3, this says the average playthrough is 54 hours. My playthrough was somewhere between 100 and 120. I completely maxed out my character. I did every side quest. Now, the game doesn't hold up as well as it used to. Like, it shows its age, but I'm sure someone's going to be pissed off at this. I liked this game more than Skyrim. I thought the combat was better. I think Skyrim had some better role-playing elements, but as far as just getting the action done, I really like Kingdoms of Amalur. The chakrams are really cool weapons that make it almost feel like an old-school God of War vibe. And there's the story just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And, you know, if you want to do a quote unquote quick playthrough at 50 hours, that's available for you. But also, if you want to sink that 120 hours in, that's available too. Next up, we have Detroit Become Human. A future in which we have, I guess, robot slaves, android slaves, if you will. And this is a kind of a story about them getting sentience almost and trying to find their place within society. I think a lot of the social commentary, it can be a little heavy-handed at times, but at the same time, they're trying to get a message across about the way we treat the people below us. And I think it tells a really interesting story. There are a ton of different paths you can take for this. In my playthrough, tiny spoiler, I'm not going to tell you who it is. I had one of the characters kill himself, and completely by mistake, just because I made a few wrong decisions. And then I see other storylines that exist where that person makes it all the way to the end. So there's a whole lot of different things that are happening. You can go through and replay different episodes and try and get some of those branching paths that you may have missed out on in the first place. So check it out. Next up, we have Slay the Spire. I cannot say enough good things about this game. This says average game time 31 hours. I put 200 hours on the Xbox version, which is what you're seeing here. And then I've put probably between 400 and 500 hours on this game on Steam. It is, of all of the card-based roguelike games, to me it's the best. I've gotten pretty far in it, and it's the skill level's definitely beefed up to the point where I advancement's slow, but at the same time, it always feels fair and interesting, and man, it's such a fun game. There's so many different things you can do. There's 4 different characters who all have different powers. They all have different decks. So if you're into the card game thing at all, or if you're interested in getting into it, this is absolutely the game that you want to check out. And then next up, we have Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I recently played Resident Evil Village, which is the sequel to this, and I gotta say, I like Resident Evil 7 Biohazard more, which I don't think a lot of people might agree with me on, but I do. When I played Village, it just kind of felt like a rehash of a lot of things we've already seen, where this game just came out of nowhere with this level of grit and gore and filth that we've never quite seen in a Resident Evil game. The story was engrossing. There's a last chapter that takes place that came out of nowhere that when I thought the game was over. I think Ethan's a great character. The Barker family, you are running from, are some of the most memorable characters in a horror game that I can remember in a long time. So if you haven't checked this one out, absolutely check it out. I've heard it's insane and VR as well. And then next up we have Resident Evil 4. I can make an argument that I've played all of the Resident Evils. I can make an argument that 7 and 4 are the two best games. 4 for me was the perfect mix of kind of the previous Resident Evils with the puzzles and the exploring with some really fantastic action. And even now, when there's with the combat, you have to stand in place while you shoot. And it does feel clunky, but man, the story's good. Like the layout of everything is good. I thought the difficulty level was in a really really nice point where the game always felt pretty fair outside of a part or two. There's amazing wild enemies that you will remember going forward. I didn't even want to ruin any of those if you haven't played it before, but if you haven't, like, check this game out. This is a classic for a reason, and for $5, just give it that try. Then next up, we have Octopath Traveler. I actually just finished this game on Xbox One. This is a really good turn-based role-playing game. It has a lot of elements of classic games like the Dragon Quest series and the Final Fantasy series in the way they tell their stories. The turn-based combat is it's made interesting by having a weakness system and by having characters able to have multiple classes and different sets of powers, so you can kind of, in different areas, you can kind of plan which group of characters will fight the best. The pixel graphics are gorgeous. You're looking at some of the snow graphics. There's other times where you'll see it like the sand and the snow twinkle. And there are 8 characters who each have distinct stories that you work through with your party. Out of those 8, at the end, by the time I got to the end of the game, there's one character I didn't care about at all. There's one character who I thought their ending was kind of pointless. The 6 other stories were all really good. And and we're already on. I could keep talking about it, but we're already on to Darkest Dungeon. This game beat the living hell out of me. I'm not even gonna kid you on it. Geez, this is another roguelite, and you have a village of people, but you have to keep sending them down into the dungeons to try and advance. And this game is hard as hell. But here's what I'll tell you: I got about 30 or 40 hours into it until it got so hard it was frustrating for me. So if I see a $5 price tag on it, even if you don't go all the way through it, that's a great deal. Like, if you see this screen and this looks interesting to you, like, I definitely give it a try. Your party can go insane. There's all sorts of different enemy types. There's traps everywhere. So you might have a character who just loses his mind and takes off. So it's a really interesting dynamic dealing with sanity in addition to dealing with really tough combat. And then we have Portal. My goodness, $2. What does this world come to if we were only valuing Portal at $2? Portal is the king of first-person puzzle games. If you haven't played it yet, Jesus Christ, for $2, I don't even care if you like puzzle games. For $2, check this out. Make it a part of your collection. This is, it's fantastic. Like, I don't even, the way the physics work, the way the puzzles work, it's just thought out so perfectly that just works really well. And, God, I hope if you like puzzle games, you've played this by now. But if you haven't, like, get on it. And next up, we have Castle Crashers. Castle Crashers was released in 2008, and I still think it is the best beat-em-up I have played in the 13 years since then. The graphics are cute, but the combat is cool. There's a lot of different characters you can use. There's a lot of classes. You get familiars. The boss fights are just memorable and just some of them downright insane. As a co-op game, it works even better. And this is a game you can play this with your kids. Like, the blood's a little much, but it's a nice it can be chill and easy if you need it to be, and it's something that's cartoony enough where I think you can really get kids into it. I've played it with my nephew myself, and he was a big fan. So, and God, $3. Next up, we have Firewatch. I actually haven't played Firewatch yet. I bought it at this sale price, so I wanted to mention it. But I'm really excited about this game when I do get a chance to play it. It's a first-person adventure story through the woods. Again, this is one of those, much like, Slay the Spire, this is really a genre-defining game, I think. Like, this really brought back to life this kind of first-person narration mystery story vibe that we get. That we've had a lot of other cool games that have similar vibes. Virginia is a game that comes to mind as one that's a personal favorite of mine, though that's a little more lynchy than I think this is, because I don't know, because I haven't played it. But at a playtime of 4 hours, if it's only $5, I'd absolutely recommend checking out. In addition to being able to play this on PC, it's also available on Mac for people like me who don't have money for other computers besides their work computer. And finally, we have World of Goo. This was my pickup of the week, so I haven't played it yet. I really wanted to play this when it came out. This was on the Nintendo Wii in their digital store, I remember, and I always wanted to give it a try, and I just kind of never got around to it. So it's physics-based. You have goo. You're assembling your goo into different forms. It's a puzzle platformer. I mean, honestly, from reading the reviews, this game really seems to have stood the test of time. So I'm excited to see what it has to offer. Since I was a big, I liked the Wii. It had some good stuff on it, and this was really one of the better games on it that I never got a chance to play. So thanks for joining us, folks. I really appreciate it. We'll be back in a week, maybe 2. We're going to start doing these very much regularly in August. In the meantime, you can find us at Facebook, at facebook.com/SQDTA. You can check out the links below. We also have a Patreon. We'd love to have you join us on there. Click, like, comment, subscribe. Find us on Twitter. Everything. Just everything. We want to make this a ton of fun, and we really hope you can come along and join us. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.